Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Harpreet. I'm the senior project manager at Elets Technomedia, and this is my first time. I'm very nervous, like moderating the session. But yes, I will do that. So I would, love to. I would love to, welcome to all of these, fellow panelists, Mr. Nikesh Gupta, who's the Chief Operating Officer at Aditya Birla Finance, and Mr. Shankar, Senior VP Customer Experience from Future Generali India Insurance. So, as we know, today we are going to cover or explore how super apps and unified platforms are redefining customer experience in India's financial sector. With the rise of digital payments, embedded finance, and open banking, financial services are no longer confined to traditional channels. And why this particular topic matters? Because super apps are becoming the new norm in finance, bringing banking, payments, lending, and wealth management under one umbrella. With the RBI regulations, interoperability challenges, and the evolving role of AI, how are financial institutions navigating this transformation? So my first question would be, how are super apps evolving to meet the growing expectations of customers for real-time financial services, especially in India? So, Hari, would you love to take this question?
Yeah, sure. It's the evening, and I'm sure everyone is looking forward to the final wrap-up coffee, and some people are here to receive the award also. So I hope I'm not coming in between that anticipation and the wait. Okay, so I mean, from childhood we are taught about supermen and superwomen. I mean, they have been a part of our growing up. I mean, even before I go to apps which become super apps, what distinguishes them is they also start out humble. There's the Clark Kent, and then maybe he goes on to become a Superman, or he goes on to become the Spider-Man. The difference is, I mean, they persevere at it and like really expand their capabilities and build on that, and they start looking different, and maybe they start wearing their inner garments over their red suit. Just joking on that sense. So the apps that really beat others and become super apps, maybe do they follow some traits like that, or they become because they become the need? One thing on their evolution, now let's look at it category wise maybe. So the app which sets out for a communication platform, a social media app, and Meta has two of the most important ones out of that in their quiver of arrows, be it WhatsApp or be it Facebook. They did not start out with the intention of becoming a marketplace app, or they did, but ultimately they tied up at a later stage. I mean, that was not the prima facie motive. I mean, WhatsApp at one stage just kept on consolidating the consumers, and commerce is still a later phase that has come up over there. What we liked about it is the ease, the unobtrusiveness, and the way we could communicate with each other. And today, I'm not sure how many of you do really check your SMS unless you have filled in a place for OTP and you're expecting the OTP, which till day mostly would default come to your SMS. Otherwise, you would receive on WhatsApp. WhatsApp has also started receiving a few limited SMS. Email is already there. So what has helped them to evolve is they have maintained their primary characteristic. So WhatsApp has remained the mode of communication. Facebook has remained the mode of celebration, where you are sharing the pictures, the events, and then in that they have developed the other services. So today I cannot fathom, or maybe very few newcomers would be there, I cannot fathom anyone not offering their supports and services over WhatsApp. So anyone who has received a communication is most likely now going to receive it from WhatsApp, because truth is Gmail would be full with your junk mails. You may not have read your Gmail. I mean, if I have a show of hands, how many of you have read important communication on, if it is not your office ID, if it is your personal Gmail ID? I mean, how many of you have read in the last 48 hours important communication on Gmail other than spam? Is there anyone who's raising their hand on that? No, no one is raising their hand on that. So, okay, you have read an important communication. Is it your bank calling?
Trading.
Training. You have to.
Trading.
Trading. Yeah, that's important. But it's a promotional message or it is a status message? It's a status message. So it's not a promotional message. But mostly if you have one status message from say your end money or from your Zerodha or so, there would be 20 promotional messages that are coming free. And that is where you forget to see. And in fact, I realized like 1 in 500, I have lost one important message because of that I have stopped looking at it. But the beauty of WhatsApp would be that it is bringing you again and again to it because it is personally. So what coming back to the financial services players, or I represent an insurance company, what we are doing in this space is, first of all, we have built the communication channel, both the outgoing and the ingoing. And kudos actually to the platform provider. They have got very good security and prevention of customer privacy, I mean the misuse of customer privacy practices, which makes you prevent from doing any spamming kind of activity. And it has got so many controls that you can send only so many such kinds of messages, or you have to take the consent before communicating unless is already enrolled onto your number. So first we are using it for communicating, but we are not using it for marketing communicating. In fact, we were one of the first insurers, or rather the first one, who started delivering the policy copy on WhatsApp. That was many years back. Now it's considered as a regular de facto thing, or something which is routine. After that, the entire journey of communication. So be it, when the policy is issued, if you are doing online, if in between something like a quotation has to be informed, post policy issuance, policy document has to be sent, some FAQ has to be sent, some KYC remains pending, that KYC has to be collected. So the entire journey of communication is built around that. The claim journey, the entire journey is there. So that's one is the outgoing thing. And of course, now if he has become accustomed to you and he's not going to mark you as a spam, now you can also in between give the interesting factoids or the tidbits of information which is useful to that. Second is the support services. Everyone has started with bot services or chatbot services on the website. And I'm sure that most have now advanced to WhatsApp being the bot service where you can be available 24/7. Because how do people recall you? Remember the day of Yellow Pages. You need to connect to anyone, you'll take the Yellow Pages, and now the Yellow Pages is also online and you'll find the number. So now on WhatsApp, you'll go and check the company property. If they have ever interacted with you, you'll be able to reach out to them and you'll be able to support. So the entire journey. And now we have also made the entire experience of buying and renewing on the WhatsApp itself. So it is not that you have to come to WhatsApp and then after that you go to the website to buy. You can actually complete all the steps over there and you can do renewal. And we also serve renewal notices which are interesting and customized in a video format. So a celebrity actually sending the renewal notice in a 15-second video clip and reminding with an interesting video by speaking out the person's name. And this catches the eye and then lets the customer complete the entire journey of the renewal within the WhatsApp itself. So I can continue extolling the virtues of the app's availability. It's on each of us how we tap it. Similarly, the financial services app, be it Paytm, be it a Phone Pay, or be it a Google Play, they are no longer the initial intent that they had come for. That is for making a payment transaction. They are everything else from that. I do manage all my utility bills payments through the reminders from that. The beauty is once you have made a payment, they'll remind you again and again, even if you have switch the platform. And you also have the option to enroll for ever payments, the seamless payments over there. Secondly, the entire marketplace, the travel purchase, the travel insurance purchase, or any kind of thing. I don't give too much value to the loyalty program they have, the few cashback points that they give. That is not the attractive thing, but the simplicity or the convenience of it is what keeps it attractive. So the apps, I would say in conclusion, which have remained in your phone and which you have not deleted. You will delete the apps which you are going to use maybe once a year or once in 2 years or so, but which you are going to remember maybe at least once in few days. Those are the apps which have the potential of becoming super apps, and then they become the necessity. So today's world is going to be more and more about not me developing a great app and offering you, however great it is. I'm competing against the ones like Paytms and WhatsApp, but me being present where the customers are present and offering my entire gamut of services and support over there. So that's the evolution journey I see for super apps.
Well, thank you very much for, pointing out some of the key points. So, Mr. Nikesh, what's your take on this?
See, my take on this that these days we all carry large phones featured. We have moved to smartphones, but mobile area space, is becoming very precious day by day. So what it means, you can't have 10 apps for for small things. So now it's all about collaboration, consolidation, and as Hari has very rightly mentioned, you can't own everything. You need to benefit from it. If I look at these days we are collaborating with a large institution, large financial institution, small fintech companies, and where collaboration is the key. The idea is not to reinvent the wheel. On the super app, the essence of super app is the customer has a very limited space on his mobile. If the customer has one app for insurance, one app for health insurance, one app for lending, one app for payments, then space is gone. Isn't right?
Correct.
So we have created an app. I will talk about Aditya Birla Capital. That app takes care of everything. We are in mutual, whether it is mutual fund, whether it is lending, housing finance, whether it is payments. You can do everything. So then you become important for the customer. And if you become important for the customer will keep on coming to you. You can do cross-sell, upsell, and that is the beauty of a super app.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what I understand that like for not just for different purpose or need, you need multiple apps. You just need only one app that can fulfill all your needs, whether it's insurance, payments, like a lot of stuff. So well said. And also you mentioned, sir, that nowadays this WhatsApp communication has become a marketing communication tool kind of thing. Earlier it used to be a communication tool. So well said. So my second question would be, how do super apps balance the need for seamless customer experience with the complexity of integrating multiple financial services and products under one platform?
Yeah, should I?
Sure, please.
Actually, very tough word, seamless customer experience. These words come a lot, and there are some booths and partners set up. I'm sure someone will invariably talk about seamless omni-channel experience, seamless customer experience. The beauty of the seamlessness should be, just like the seams of our clothes shouldn't be seen, that experience should happen without realizing that I had to do so much effort. So effortless is the other keyword over there. Now, everyone wants to have a bite of the pie. Everyone wants to be present where the action is happening. How to make it seamless and just not landing over there just for the purpose of it. So few things, because you may still treat that primary mode as your primary mode of communication for the original purpose. So the WhatsApp you may be still treating as the primary mode for interacting with your friends and relatives. So one rule which will be important is if you are coming in the way of that, or if you are becoming obtrusive. So I am looking for interacting with my friends group, my batchmates group, my family groups, and individual communication. And hey, there are 500 messages which are coming from brands, which maybe once in a while I had a communication with. Then it becomes a surge. Then I'll start hating this thing, and I'll start trying to find again the beautiful SMS or the old phone. So for example, today, we as a parents, when we are giving the phones to the children to a certain age, we are trying to limit their phone time, or we are trying to give them a phone if it is a utility need. Like if I have to send my daughter to school and to some tuition and need to get the confirmation that she has reached there, I might be looking at the old phone set which just serves the purpose of the communication rather than so much other things. And the other things maybe she can, till she matures, gets in a controlled environment. So control, I think, self-imposed control or discipline is going to be the first key to the seamlessness. Second, I'll call it the problem of plenty. So when there is too much to choose, you become odd, or you don't know what to choose. So people who are able to really drive sales decisions are those who offer minimal features with great value. So juxtapose this, or these are opposing views. But if you are offering too much but nothing is offering value, then you just glance by the buffet and you do not pick it up. Or if you pick it up from the buffet, that is to your own rue, that why did I pick it up? This did not sound as exciting or taste as exciting I did. So there again, the super apps providers have to see that. And when you form that umbrella, I mean, how do you group the things? The grouping becomes an important activity. So under which umbrella intuitively, that intuition, if you can present, can I expect to see something? Will it fall under entertainment? Will it fall under travel? Will it fall under utility? And once you become used to see, no apps come with manuals. I mean, gone are the days where your TV or fridge or everything would come with manuals and you open excitedly and you read and then you use it. The apps do not come with manual. You have to start using it the moment it is. And if something is getting hidden, so someone is having a large share of pie, I mean, some insurer must be selling more on a super app than compared to others. What is that differentiation which they are creating? So that differentiation, for some it may be the price point, for some it may be the feature point, or for some it may be the simple step. So we also have things to suit or tailor-made to suit everyone's need. So we have products which can be like renewed in 1, 2, simple, easy as go. Or there are products where you allow a lot of customization, something like a do-it-yourself. You can choose each thing and customize, because health insurance is a difficult decision. You do not necessarily want everything, or you want things which suit you to the most. If you are a woman, you want certain kinds of coverages. If you are an elderly person, you want certain kind of coverages. So what care you have put into it will go into making it nice. So the effort and the care put at the back end is what will bring about the seamlessness and the effortlessness for the customer. And some of these basic or guiding principle about minimum being actually maximum, and grouping and clubbing properly, exercising control and discipline, and actually meeting the customer need can help in putting up in the best manner possible.
Correct, correct. Mr. Nikesh, do you want to add something on this?
See, basically, this is a seamless client experience or customer experience can only happen if you integrate, analytics, automation, AI, and insight. That then only it becomes valuable to the customer. Because just by adding all the things together, maybe it's seamless also. At the end of the day, it should add value. If that, let me give you example. The customer is looking for a health insurance product. You need to create such a value addition. Then you check with car insurance, all those things. You can add up the things, but insights and analytics with AI will be a great solution, and the customer will love it, because customer feel you are creating a value for them, and they will use it more and more and more often.
Correct, correct, correct. So adding these particular features, then only can enhance the customer experience for the customer.
Yeah.
If I'm not making any mistake.
Yes.
Perfect. And one last question for both of you. It's a very generic question that how do you see as India moves towards the digital first financial ecosystems? How do you envision super apps evolving in the next 3 to 5 years to further simplify financial services for the next generation of users?
See, please. Okay. So, see, my take on this, it's a very difficult question. Very honestly, it's a very difficult question. Because, we are talking about the future in the current statism, right? Nobody knows what will happen after 3 months.
Correct.
Regulatory regime is changing very, very fast. In my previous role before this, I was a global trade ops head for 72 countries. Okay. And every day I was only my job largely was talking to regulators. So I was managing Europe, Middle East, Asia, Africa, and Americas. So you can imagine, from Pakistan onwards, the other side of the whole globe. But the only thing is the regulation and changing regulation. So it is very difficult to predict, what will be the future of super app. See, the answer only lies how much value we are creating and how we are keeping innovation ahead. And it's all about the collaboration, because let's take example, institution XYZ, I don't want to name it. If even for my institution also, how best we are collaborating with us. And there are certain lines of business which may not be in line with the financial industry. Maybe suppose I tie up with Make My Trip. So what it means, customer will know, if I come to an Aditya Birla Capital app, I can use for my travel, I can use for my car trip, I can use for my tax payments. I'm just giving as an example. Yeah. I can use for my GST bills and all. I can check my credit score, I can check my health score. So as of now, it is useful. Tomorrow, you need to keep on reinventing.
Correct.
You have to stack up. And when you stack up, you need to continuously check what customer is looking for all the time. That's what my take on this.
Completely take this up, some place.
Thank you. That was really insightful. No one can foresee the future. If we had that crystal ball and we could say that what the future looks like, life would have been so much easier. One of the blogs that I read and follow is by one marketeer, Mr. Rishad Tobaccowala, which talks about the future does not fit into the containers of the past. So typically, the containers or the boxes or the way we have of seeing the world is what we have seen it till now. What we have not seen is very difficult to imagine. So at points, he said, regulation and collaboration will drive this, but I think it will go beyond regulation and collaboration also. It will be about something much more, about like reaching into a one app or so, one master or something like that, though there are different ones and that's why we need to come together. But some basic problems also need to be solved and people have collaborated to do that. So in the past, for example, I think all of us must have broken our head about logging in with so many apps being there, the login and password. They have solved for it many of the places by introducing things like the SMS-based login. You don't even need to remember a password, or authenticator, where every time you can generate a password by another app which is authenticator. So in many cases in Indian societies, if both the husband and wife are not working and the husband is managing the finances for both and for some tax purposes also he's managing two financial accounts, he may essentially want to access it on the same phone. But how does he every time get the OTP from the wife while he's on office? Or maybe she is busy, she is teaching somewhere else, or she is also a homemaker but not so keen about the finances, or vice versa. It's not, let me be gender neutral. It could be the wife managing the finances for the husband and asking the husband who is not so good at it about that. So they are needing to integrate. So the future will come. Like we have already some apps like the Facebooks and those which allow a unified login to everywhere. So you get the login with your Facebook ID. But it is still a far cry for someone wanting to log in into their financial services with a Facebook ID. But yes, those things which we are seeing coming, like the face recognition, the digital footprint recognition by our biometrics or so. So more and more data, the little bit scary side of it is also going to be there. The more and more data about us is also going to be available in the public domain. And Hari is going to be recognized by others, especially in the business world, much faster than me. The moment I have maybe swiped my biometrics or my face has been scanned, one of the things about Digi Yatra makes it faster in the queue. But one thing which still strikes my mind is that face recognition. I don't know what all history it will also start passing on to many others. Many places we have done the compromise and we do hear the stories also of the leakages. So those are the things, the controls which have to be looked upon by people. Then the exciting times will remain. And I think the next frontier for these apps would be also how the physical equipment of those are changing. Right now it is the smartphone. Whether it will remain a phone or it will again, that app itself will become something much more, not physical, but more phygital. Something smaller, which projects and changes into that. So the apps will evolve, the apps will collaborate, but what outcomes can come, I think neither of us sitting here can forecast. Otherwise, we would have been there on the next big idea and selling that idea and developing that idea already.
Well, thank you very much. I know we are running shortage of time. It's already we have to wrap up the session on time. Just before wrap up the session, I would ask you, both of you gentlemen, to share one quick tip or hack to become a good user of these super apps. How they can prevent themselves getting hacked or fraud detect or this thing.
See, my answer is, in this world, you need to be vigilant all the time. Why about the super apps? There are unknown people who are troubling you. Your electricity bill is not paid. Your water bill is not paid. Some people are talking about, digital, arrest. Those kind of words, it is not there in dictionary even now as well, right? So you need to be vigilant all the time. You should not trust anybody. And very small thing, which have been taught to us even 20 years back, that don't share your passwords, don't share your OTP. In a financial industry, the company still will keep on. I have partnered with all the big fintech companies as of now in the country. Okay. So what is the most common thing is happening? People say fraud ho gaya, fraud ho gaya. Then we get investigated. It is the same person only who has given an OTP on some pretext or other. Somebody saying, sir, your KYC is due. But see, RBI regulator is also regulator in various form or shape is educating the customer. Regulator is also giving us or pushing all the regulated entity, banks, financial institutions. Please do pass on this message, but anything can happen. So my answer, not restricted to super app, be vigilant and keep your eyes open. It is very, very important. And this statement will remain true in the next 30 years as well.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. That's correct.
So thanks Nitesh ki. I'd say app की security आपसे है, मतलब हम सब से है. The failures on breaches of data which happen are not so much every time due to the failures with the utilities or the apps, but with the human lapse over there. Touchwood, I have not been part of any victim end of the financial fraud till now. But yes, one or two times financial lethargy I have been a part of. So like on a very tired day, after paying, I am trying to remember human life examples. After paying my rickshawala something through the app, 100 or 200, when I has to pay the medical bill again sent by my wife when I was about to doze off, I ended up paying the medical bill to the rickshawala, which was never recovered. That was something like a couple of thousand, but that was inevitable, a very good learning. I learned it at the cost of 2,000. I'm very grateful. It could have been tomorrow 2 lakh rupees also. So alertness and security, we have to know what are the times when not to do. Tomorrow new frontiers will come where your voice will unlock the transaction. I don't know when it will come, when the chip in the body will unlock by the speed of mind. Those are the days. Humans first build for themselves the graves and then they say, I have fallen in the grave. So those are the pitfalls that we need to be aware of. And of course, the other key practices, if you are installing any software, is it of use to you? Have you the basic anti-spam and the anti-malware software also installed? Even your app is prompting you for various careful things. Be careful about that. The payment apps, if you are making a transaction of more than 2,000 through a scanned UPI code which is there already in your gallery, it prevents you from doing that. Why? Because some robot may be able to run it and may be able to run so many other things. Or for example, you are on a phone call and you're trying to make a certain amount of payment. It is preventing you that you are on a phone call. Are you sure? So that my mistake where I was like sort of about to sleep and ended up making a payment to someone else is not repeated. So those guidelines are there. Making ourselves aware and vigilant will help. After that also, God doesn't know. I don't know if while walking down I'll fall or I'll reach up to the chairs again. That shouldn't make us afraid from enjoying apps or life for that matter. But those controls and railings are something that we need to put up.
I just want to add,
Sure.
I'm sorry I am interjecting, whatever is happening in India now, this had already happened in the Western countries, at least 15 years back. They have been seeing it fraud and they have learned over a period of time. Now what is happening, because in my previous job, my job was to work very closely with the regulators. What I have learned that, now regulators are talking to each other very regularly, earlier maybe, once in 2 years, now they must be meeting on a monthly basis, formally as well as informally. So the fraudsters are becoming very confident. On a lighter note, if everybody is on Netflix these days, there is one series is there, Zamtara, right?
That's correct.
So, they are so confident, they have written Zamtara, sabka number aayega.
Yes.
They are so confident, sabka number aayega.
Correct.
So what it means exactly, we need to be vigilant all the time. Don't save your passwords and all. And the good thing is India is far, far ahead in terms of payment infrastructure. I can tell you, there are not more than 10 countries in the world who have that kind of a system where funds can be transferred within 10 seconds, right? We all can try. IMPS available throughout the time. The nightmare of presenting the checks, dividend payments, all those days are over, right? So, but it brings a lot of responsibility and accountability as well. So we need to be keep vigilant. And super app, no super app, I think because it is difficult.
Correct, sir.
So I think the answer is on the regular. You need to be vigilant all the time, and that's going to help. So I think that's it from my side.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for sharing, some good insights and viewpoints on this particular subject on super apps. So thank you.